Hey Mysidians, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all getting excited for the Opus X Ancient Champions pre-release weekend. I know that I'm pretty excited. I'm going to head down to the States in a couple of days and play in a pre-release since we might not be getting the product here in time. And we should also be getting a full card dump by tomorrow at some point. That's the Friday before pre-release if it follows kind of what we've seen in the past. But I wanted to make a video before that happens because I'm really excited for Opus X, and I just wanted to talk about three main things that are just getting me really razzed about the set. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that's getting me excited is a bunch of card draws coming to FFTCG, and it's entering elements that need card draw. So we're talking about Geomancer and Ignacio in Fire, we're talking about Susuhisa in Earth, Sakura in Lightning, and I think it's Bard in Ice. So these cards are all going into elements that just don't have the access to card draw that Wind and Water might have. So it's really great to see that, and I'm just really excited because for the most part they've been able to keep kind of the flavor of those elements within the cards that we've seen, and I just think that might make a level playing field for more elements. So I'm really excited to see if that's going to shake up the meta a little bit, or maybe just give decks a better chance. I know that the first thing that I'm going to do when this set drops is I'm going to try out my Mono Earth again and see if I can mix things up with Suzuhisa and maybe even our 2 CP Earth Summon that kind of swaps with something in your break zone. I'm totally blanking on the name right now, but I'm going to put it up on the screen anyway when I remember. Okay, so the next thing I'm excited for is Sky Pirate support, and I think that I'm not alone in being excited for that. So we have at least 7 new Sky Pirate cards being printed, but we also got a ton of support in the last set in Opus 9 with Fran and Pinello, and there's even another Balthier and other cards, but just in general we have all this Sky Pirate support. We have all this Sky Pirate cards from earlier in the game. We even have a Sky Pirate starter deck, so there's just a ton of different ways to do Sky Pirates now, and I'm really excited to see if this is something that's going to be actually competitive, because we've seen cards get support, we've seen jobs get support in FFTCG before. I mean, Knights are endlessly getting support and then still not really panning out because they're a little bit slow and they're a little bit expensive, but even cards or jobs like Guardian got 6 cards in a previous opus, and that just wasn't enough to push it. But we didn't have very many previous Guardians to really work with the cards that we had, whereas in Sky Pirates we do have quite a bit of previous Sky Pirates that are maybe going to help out the archetype a little bit. So I expect that we're going to see Sky Pirates in a Wind Water build, and we already know that Wind Water is super strong. We saw it a ton at the different national tournaments that recently happened, and you better bet that we're going to see it at Worlds as well. So maybe there's a Sky Pirate version of that that still plays your amazing Wind Water combos, but has some really cool search engines with Pinello and other Sky Pirates, and just has lots of value from the different Sky Pirate abilities that we're now seeing. Okay, so the final thing that has me excited are the new Legendaries for this set. So we have some really cool like staples that are being printed, and some really nice archetype cards like Rain is in a World of Final Fantasy deck, and Fran's going to be great in Sky Pirates, and that's all nice. And you know, Squall and Shantoto and Volca and Lightning and other cards are just going to be powerful tools in their element, but we also just have some game-changing new types of cards that are coming out in the Legend slot that I think deserve to be talked about a little bit. So this includes cards like Xande that are just kind of giving like this new type of playstyle where you want to play this big guy and flood the board and just kind of win from there, and maybe he gets more support because right now it's not enough. But we also have things like Cloud of Darkness that has a super unique ability, and it's going to just cause people to build around it. I even think that the new Warrior of Light right legend in Earth is actually going to be pretty cool. You can play it, and if you reveal a Viking and a Knight, you could play both onto the field. So there could be a Earth and Water standard unit stack that might be kind of neat depending on what you put in it. So there's also cards with this built-in protection like the new Lightning Legendary that we saw in Hein, and there's even things that we just saw, like Sid from the Brave Exvius titles, who can totally shut down things like Zandy, kind of ironically in the same set, but also things like Golbez. It's going to shut down the new Vaughn that we saw in the starter set for Opus X, and it's just really exciting to see these kind of game-changing legends that might shake things up a little bit if they are able to be built around properly, or just be able to impact certain matchups while not suffering against others. So I think with some of these cards that we're seeing, we're at the very least going to see a lot of very cool decks from some of our talented deck builders out there, and then we're going to see lots of people trying out those decks and giving them a good shake while we're developing the Opus X meta. Okay, that's it for me, and I just want to hear from you guys now. I want to know if you're excited for your pre-release weekend, and what are you excited about specifically in Opus X? Is it a certain card, or maybe a certain archetype, or just you want to see a shift of what everyone's playing and just get to try some new cards? So let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. You can like and subscribe to support us further, and you can read the Mysidia Post articles at themysidiapost.com. You can also check out our Patreon if you want to support us more. And if you need FFTCG singles, then look no further than Cards That You Release. They've got great deals and prices. Check them out. Finally, I'd like to thank FFDecks for creating the best website for creating your Final Fantasy trading card game decks. They've also got a Patreon, so make sure you go check them out. They work so hard for the community, so let's pay them back. See you next time.